Man, I never thought I would be back here. Greetings, Onion Slice, and today I'm revisiting Resident Evil Village because it is the 4-year anniversary of the release of Resident Evil 8, of this game. So today I wanted to go back and see what this game actually did right and, how does it feel, 4 years later? What's good about it and what isn't? And I think after having played this game for 4 years now, I think I have a pretty good idea on what they did right and what they did wrong. So I am playing on the PC, but I did play on the PS4 and 5 for the longest time. So I immediately want to talk about one of my favorite things about Resident Evil Village, and that is the return to the sort of mansion-like vibe with the castle. I didn't mind the village too much. It definitely feels like Resident Evil Village, or this game, Resident Evil 8, wanted to bring back that feel of Resident Evil 4. It is very inspired by Resident Evil 4, and it's very, very obvious. It is also combining a lot of classic elements like the chaser enemy, Mr. X from Resident Evil 2. And I think Capcom did a great job by introducing those things. Now, one of my main complaints about Resident Evil Village is that it's obviously in first person. I mean, they did add a third person in a later update. But just the first person, there's nothing inherently wrong with first person. It's just I prefer third person. And I really, really like the level design of this game. It looks amazing. I mean, it doesn't really feel like Resident Evil, to be completely honest. It's like a mix between, RE4 and, original Resident Evil games. I mean, this definitely feels... It's too spacious. And I think they definitely did this with the first person in mind. And then there's the transition into a tighter corridor, which is more on the Resident Evil side of things, but then there's this opening here. So they wanted to definitely have the freedom of movement. They definitely took first person into account when they were working on the level design. And the reason why we all probably love the castle so much is because of the tight corners and what we're more used to, this sort of environment. We're more used to this sort of environment in Resident Evil games. So that's probably why most people prefer this sort of setting, such as the castle. I mean, obviously, the architecture and all that is definitely new because we are located in a different time period. We're in the current day, basically. Oh, I never searched this. We're basically in 2021, I believe, right? I think this takes place in 2021 and in Romania. So I don't mind the change of sort of setting and aesthetic. And look, definitely the armor. I know armors are like a thing that people do in video games, but I can definitely see the inspiration with RE4, the original RE4. And things like these, like balconies that don't make sense, that's definitely a lot. That's definitely a RE2 there. I mean, look, there's no door leading up to there, so why is there a balcony? And there's windows that have been adorned, so... there's a lot of attention to detail in the level design, but then there's stuff like that that really breaks my immersion, and it's purely aesthetic. No, I really, really like the whole, bringing back things like these, like the masks, very Resident Evil 1 inspired. You can tell the devs really wanted to go back to their roots, but they still wanted to create something that would feel familiar and new at the same time. I mean, this is something that a lot of people didn't catch during their first playthroughs, but this little symbol right here is like the merchant's blue light in RE4, the original RE4, and I guess the remake. Now, let's talk about what I didn't like. For the most part, I liked most things, to be completely honest, about this game. I personally don't like the whole scavenging thing. Look, this is what I mean. Like, the crafting, I know we're all used to it by now. but I really don't like having to collect resources, like resources large, resources small, and all that stuff. Oh, I have the infinite magnum. Oh, that's cool. I don't really, I don't really. I personally don't think crafting with resources is something that I personally like. I prefer the RE 2 and 3 way of crafting, with the gunpowder, and you can put in the gunpowders and you get really cool things like that. That's a core element of Resident Evil. But to be honest, I can't blame RE Village for implementing this, because it didn't. It wasn't the first game that introduced the sort of crafting. It was actually RE7, I believe. I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below. Which one was the first game that introduced the resources L and all of that stuff? But yeah, I don't mind it too much, but I personally don't prefer that. But like I said before, my main issue is the first-person camera angle. I just don't like the first-person camera angle. But you know what? The game wasn't terrible, and that's why I've actually put up with the whole first-person thing, because the game isn't bad. It's actually pretty good. So I quite enjoyed this game. But I feel like had it been made with third-person over the shoulder in mind, it would have been a lot better. But that's just me. But hey, it's not that different. If you play in third person, it actually is a little bit wonky, because the game was obviously made for first person. But yeah, even if you play in third person with the new updates and all that, it just doesn't feel the same as something like RE4 or RE2 and RE3 remakes. Oh, I see. So I just wish Capcom had made the castle a little bit longer, because this is the strongest part of the game. This is the most solid part of the game. And look, they even had, I mean, I do like that Resident Evil has goofy unlocks like the lightsaber and stuff like that. Resident Evil definitely needs to have this sort of thing as an unlock, in my personal opinion. Resident Evil has to have unlocks that become something that is fun to use later on. And this definitely is a good step in the right direction, but I really didn't feel like the game was structured in a way where you could replay it. I mean, one of the biggest things about a Resident Evil game is the replayability and having, doing multiple runs.
The entire bloodline of House Dimitrescu is done in by the likes of you.
She's impervious to damage. I mean, she's definitely an iconic character. She doesn't even get flash. She's definitely an iconic character, but her involvement with the game wasn't really, she doesn't really hit the same way as something like Mr. X. Like, she's not really scary.
Such a nimble mouse.
The voice acting is 10 out of 10 for sure.
Where do you think you're going?
Oh goodness me. Also, the whole herb thing, I don't know how I feel about them turning the green herbs into first aid meds. I don't know. I mean, I like that they wanted to keep the green herbs. I like that, but I don't know. I just like the blue and green and red and the yellows and all the other herbs. But honestly, that's just nitpicking. To be completely honest, that's just nitpicking. Like, it's not ruining my experience, you know what I mean? So inherently there isn't really anything wrong with the game. It's just the same thing but done differently. And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand, that we need variety in life. Oh, is this... I'm looking for the last window, because on PC I don't have all the windows. Anyway, yeah, main issues, replayability. To be completely honest, after I'm done doing a playthrough of this game, I don't really feel like doing another one, because the game is obviously taking a more cinematic approach, a more story-driven approach, which is perfectly fine. But Resident Evil has to have that sort of arcadey sort of game vibe to it, you know? I mean, as much as I dislike RE4 Remake's obsession, you know, the community's obsession with RE4 Remake, which is insane, by the way, there is so much brain rot. I think it's cute, to be completely honest. I think I like that, you know, people are so passionate about a video game, but nowadays, everyone just wants RE4 2.0. In all seriousness, you know, people just want RE4 again, and that's the problem when something peaks. You know, they just like that. You know, as much as when something is as good as RE4 Remake, it just the problem is that people. Oh, there it is. People will only want this constantly. So, but yeah, as much as I don't like the whole obsession with RE4 Remake, I do love how the game feels fun to play, right? It's incredibly fun to play. Like, as much as I don't like action in my Resident Evil games, I have to admit RE4 Remake is a very wonderful, very fun game to replay. That is something that a Resident Evil game should have, and that's something that RE Village does not have. I don't feel like replaying this game constantly, you know? There is no gameplay loop where I can just have fun, you know, shooting things, progressing. The progression of the game is more like a struggle, right? And it's something that doesn't really, I don't know, it's a feeling that I can't really describe. It doesn't fit this, doesn't feel the same way. Also, the segments are very short, and like the castle should have been expanded a little bit more. I don't know. I'm obviously not a game creator, so I can't express myself that well when it comes to what I would improve with this game. I can just give you my gamer's sort of opinion on it. Now let's try a boss battle here, see if I can... Man, she's coming. Oh yeah, she's right there. Sadness. Happiness. Uh-oh, here we go. Also, the Mercenaries. The Mercenaries mode, it just really honestly feels like that was the last thing they put together. I mean, the game started with only Ethan Winters, and you had to buy the DLC to get other characters. So like, it's not really the Mercenaries, it's just the Ethan Winters. And it's so clunky, it's so very poorly made. It's just, if you've played RE Village Mercenaries, you know exactly what I mean. In fact, let me show you. I'll show you a clip in a second, but I want to jump in and check out the boss battle here. So I have to admit, Capcom is amazing at creating boss fights, and there is very rarely a boss fight that isn't good. I mean, look how amazing this is. Also, I didn't know there was stuff here. I probably did. I mean, look how imposing this building is. I mean, you cannot say that this looks bad, you know? So you gotta give credit where it's due. This setting right here looks wonderful. It is absolutely amazing. This is one of my favorite things about this game. But it's often overlooked. You know, people don't often focus on this kind of thing because of the first-person camera view. So people, in my opinion, feel more immersed when they see someone like Leon, or, you know, someone, a character. When they see the character in the location. So I feel like it makes a bigger impact, at least for me, in my opinion. But yeah, so the voice acting we're about to see here, it's absolutely one of the biggest, strongest things about this game. I mean, this feels like I'm in a freaking Dark Souls, Elden Ring / Bloodborne boss battle, right? And that tickles my fancy. So it might not be your kind of thing, but I really like it. And I like that they give lore to the characters. And who is that, by the way? That looks like just like a regular person. I don't know if that's supposed to be someone specific. And also I love that they give lore to the origin story of Umbrella. You know, Spencer. Like, we haven't heard Spencer since what, 2008? You know, any major things about Spencer? There's people who don't even know who Spencer is. You probably don't even know who Spencer is. Okay, we're about to see mommy here. She is one of the biggest things in this game. One of the best things. Oh no, the knife. That should have been an unlock, by the way. That should have been the infinite knife. Or whatever. They should have turned her into a tyrant, not a dragon. Just turns into a dragon for no reason. This is definitely Bloodborne-like. Such a good voice actress, honestly. She knocked it out of the park. I really like this era. I really like this point in the game.
Looks like your outside
the early morning.
matches your inside. You'll die a painful death.
Oh, okay. I don't know why that locks up behind me. Time to... Besides Miranda. My gosh. Such iconic voice acting. It really brings a tear to my eye. Where's my magnum? There we go. Can't see anything. Also, one of the things I don't like about this game is the scripted events. Like this boss battle, you can't really rush it because there's... So imagine the El Gigante fight from our village. How scripted it is. If you have the dog, you save the dog, I mean.
You can run, but you can't hide.
It's the same for this one, where like you can't deal a lot of damage and just win. She has to go through her phase 2, phase 1. Which not enough blood. I mean, this is a pretty cool boss fight, but I don't think it's very Resident Evil. Up the stairs, Ethan. Show me your terror. Love that bow so much.
Time to die. I'll eat you up, every last morsel.
I win.
Winters. You'll never see your rose again! Succumb to your despair!
How does he survive this fall? I mean, I know why, but still, she should have like at least one leg broken. At least one.
Curse you!
And then we're about to get the best treasure in the entire game. Are you ready? There it is. The absolute best treasure in the entire game. At least according to the Resident Evil community. I wonder if this exists in real life. I think someone made something like this in IRL. I mean, it doesn't make much sense, but it's cool. It looks like something that would be in Devil May Cry, right? She's got the wings, pretty cool. Anyway, so to close this video off, I wanted to thank you all. I know most of you are probably not watching this anymore. Most have clicked off, but the Mercenaries was a huge part of my channel when this game was first released. In fact, it holds a special place in my heart because it helped me get on the map, you know, for, how do you say, this is where I learned how to be a YouTuber. You know, I learned that people really liked my Resident Evil guides, and a lot of you guys haven't actually seen my guides for this game, so I suggest you check it out to see how it all started. But yeah, so the Mercenaries, it's not that great, so in fact we're gonna try it out here. So the main issue, there's no other characters. It's called the Mercenaries, but it's just Ethan Winters. The other issue is that it has nothing to do with the Mercenaries. It's more like raid mode. So they should have just called it raid mode. The only reason Capcom called this the Mercenaries is because they just wanted people to buy the game.
Well then, feel free to peruse.
There's a shop at the beginning. I mean, nothing about this is Resident Evil. Like Mercenaries, like nothing.
There he is.
You sell stuff. I mean, I appreciate them for trying
Securing
something
goods
different,
is more important than
but
anything.
it's just not that great. It could have been a lot better. Let's see if I can.
What? Ah, it's fine. All
There you go.
finished.
I think I can only upgrade 2 things. Yeah. Yeah.
A good deal.
First person, the movement is super slow. It's just not, you know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about the first person. How do you feel about those Mercenaries? I personally like the DLC version of this, because if you don't have the DLC, you will have a really bad time in the Mercenaries. You will struggle a lot. But thankfully, I made guides for this. So if you're struggling, you can check out my guides. But yeah, the progression, like I said, as you can see here, it's very much more like raid mode rather than the Mercenaries. You have to get from point A to point B, and as you do that, you have to get, you know, combos and build up points. Don't let the combo run out. It takes about 10 seconds for the combo to run out. And just the game isn't built for fast-paced movement. So that's probably the main reason why I don't like it. You have to constantly spam F, or the action button, to collect stuff. This is not the case if you own the DLC version, which unfortunately I don't on this account. So you're seeing the raw footage of how the Mercenaries is in this game. Oh, there's a big guy right here. Yeah, so there are routes to take that you have to actually follow. Because look, the Mercenaries, you know, if you play RE4 Remake, you know how the Mercenaries has spawns, right? Constantly coming towards you. You know, the enemies are constantly spawning. In this game, you have to go to specific areas for the spawns to trigger. And if you don't do it in the correct order, you run out of combo. And you can't get enough points to get a good score. And it's part of the platinum trophy requirements to do this, you know, to get all the achievements. So it's a pain in the neck. So yeah, it's not good. To be completely honest, it is not a good mode. It is actually really, really bad. And each second that goes down is 1,000 or 10,000 points or something crazy like that. And yeah, look, at the end, you have to go back to the area here. And they rate you based on your area performance. But anyway, that is all for me. Thank you so much for watching. What do you think about Resident Evil Village? I personally think it's just okay. Is it better than RE7? No, I don't think so. I think I like RE7 a little bit more. I just give RE Village a 7 out of 10, to be honest. It could be a lot better. I really hope Resident Evil 9 doesn't follow the steps of this game, but it's looking like it will. But I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Happy 4-year anniversary to Resident Evil Village. And honestly, whatever they do for RE9, I'm here for it. So stay tuned. Subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.